All right, today we're going to take a look at the money market funds. We're going to look at the monthly production for August for Bit Digital, IREN, as well as RIOT. We're also going to check in on the bonds. Let's first take a look at the economic calendar. And before we get into it, smash that like button, subscribe if you've been with us for a while and haven't done so yet. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio, and let's get into it. So today we've just got wholesale inventories. It hasn't come out yet, or actually it came out a couple of minutes ago. It hasn't updated here yet. We'll see that later. And consumer credit. Those are two things probably not going to be very big market movers. Tomorrow, NFIB optimism index, also probably not going to be a huge market mover. The big ones for this week, Wednesday, CPI, core CPI comes out on Wednesday. That's going to be a market mover. Then Thursday, jobless claims. So unemployment, that's going to be a big one as well. We've been watching that very, very closely along with PPI. So Wednesday and Thursday this week are going to be pretty big market movers. Remember that next week we have the Fed meeting on Wednesday. That is when we find out how much they are going to cut. Is it going to be 0.25? Is it going to be 0.5? Personally, I'm thinking 0.25. They don't want to scare the market too much. They don't want them all of us to think that the sky is falling. So unless it actually is, they're going to be doing a 0.25. And if they do a 0.5, I think I'll be getting very, very nervous about a lot of my risk on positions. Anyways, let's move on to the money market funds. So the money market funds, you can see here, week over week, they have increased nearly $40 billion, about 37.06 something billion dollars have flowed into the money market funds. But notice something about this. So 20 billion of that was for retail, and oh man, a good amount of that was in institutional. They went up from 3.727 trillion to 3.746 trillion, whereas retail went from 2.535 trillion to 2.553 trillion. So yeah, that cashing up. You can see people are still cashing up in the money market funds, squeezing that last bit of nearly 5.5, almost 6% interest off their money market funds here, as it is soon to come to an end. And when we see this start to decrease, that's when we know that we're going to get that last push up in the market before we start seeing some more turbulence that comes through from all the tightening and just from the rate cycle. Basically, when we see that, or economic issues that have been glaring at us for a long time, the big macro view, after this starts pouring in the market, we get the pop up, and then this starts increasing again. Then we're going to be seeing, that's when I think we're going to be in some trouble. Anyways, let's move on to the monthly production. So this is Bit Digital. Let's see how they did for August. They didn't have a lot going on, so they got 4.3 million from their HPC side of the business. 4.3. Let's see, 4.3 times that by 12. They're on track to get over their 50 million original contract. They're still building out to that $100 million contract, so they are on track. That's great. Let's see, they produced 53.4 Bitcoin in August, which is an 11.7% decrease from the prior month. Notice that their hash rate is 2.43. In the past, it was like 2.6 or something. I think they've got up to 4 or so in terms of what they have installed. Don't quote me on that. I'm just going off the top of my head. I know it was higher than 3. But they're currently operating with 2.43. So that they haven't really been increasing their Bitcoin production for a while. Notice that their Bitcoin treasury also sits at 682.4 right now, which in the past has been closer to 1,000. They were selling off a good amount of that in order to buy more Ethereum. You can see that their Ethereum has swollen up to 27,331, and they are staking a good amount of that. So they are banking heavily on HPC and Ethereum. So they are more diversified, honestly, than the majority of miners with their revenue streams, and I do like that for such a small market cap company that they are. I do like their diversity in that. Anyways, let's move on down here. Let's take a look. Yeah, they've got 106.9 million in cash equivalents. They've got about 109.6 million in digital assets, being being Bitcoin and Ethereum. Their proof of stake here, so they got 21,568 ETH actively staking with a 3.1% approximate yield off of that, which is producing them about 56.6 ETH last month. And that's all that's going on with Bit Digital. They don't have any other announcements right now. No big news coming out of them. They're just kind of trucking along, doing their thing. Now let's move on to IREN. How much did they produce in IREN? In this month, they produced 245 Bitcoin. They've got 16 exahash installed as of September 4th. So this wasn't in August. This is actually the first few days of September. They were probably waiting to release this on the 5th of September in order to say that they had that 16 exahash, which, they do that. That's fine. Let's see. They've got, they're on track for their September 30th plan to have 20 exahash and 30 exahash by Q4. That's great. Good. They've got their data centers going with 300 megawatts of power. They're planning to get 510 in 2024. Their AI cloud services. So let's see. What's this? Is this what they've already got going on? Do they already have 816 NVIDIA H100s producing HPC services for multiple clients? I'd have to look into that a little bit more. Let's see. That's all we've got there. So let's take a look down here. So operating hash rate. I don't know why they do it in petahash instead of exahash. It's kind of annoying. It just makes the numbers irritating. Anyways, August 10.9 exahash versus 9 in July versus 9.3 in June. So they came down in June and up in August. In July, they produced 241 Bitcoin. In August, 246 Bitcoin. Not bad. Oh, sorry, that's megawatts, not Bitcoin. In July, they produced 222 Bitcoin, and in August, they produced 245 Bitcoin. Mining revenue, not really gonna go over that. Their electricity costs came down hugely in August compared to July, almost in half. I'm quite interested in what that means. Was this megawatts or something? Electricity costs in so adding, so it cost them $13 million in electricity in July and only a little over 7 in August, meaning they're making a pretty good profit off their Bitcoin right now and their HPC side of the business right now, considering that they dropped their electric bill by half. That's pretty impressive, actually. I'm kind of curious how they pulled that off. I'd like to know more about that. So they pulled in about $1.2 million for their AI business here in the last month, a little over $1 million the last 3 months in a row. We're just going to go with 1.2 million times by 12. If they kept that up for 12 months, we'd be looking at about a $14.4 million revenue coming out of their AI side of the business, which is, a bit short from Bit Digital's contracts, but they're building them up. They're getting there. It's working out. I'm sorry if you hear that phone ringing in the background. Yeah, no, the office is not open yet, so I'm not picking that up. Anyways, it's not open for almost another hour. Anyways, so currently they've got 16 exahash. By the end of the month, they're going to have 20. They're planning to have, which is only an increase of 4. So I mean, they've been pretty aggressive in the past. I don't see them not achieving that goal. 30 by the end of the year, and that would be, we would see IREN trading in a very nice price point here if they are actually able to stay on track with these goals or even hit them a little bit early. That'd be pretty exciting. Let's see. They reduced per Bitcoin so their Bitcoin cost by electricity was 29,000 from 61,000 in July. Spot pricing from August. So they were able to reduce their overall, to negotiate an overall decrease in their electric costs. That's huge. That's huge. I'm surprised IREN isn't trading much higher than it is off that news alone. That's a massive press release that they should have come out with. That's very exciting. I like that a lot. Let's see here. These are obviously annualized. 15.5 million average for the year if they kept up that. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. All right. So these are annualized AI side of the business. They started in February making 1.7 million, and then March 4 annualized, April 7 annualized. So it's just annualized version. They're expecting about 15.5 million per annum from their AI side of the business right now. Okay, that's pretty cool. They've got 816 NVIDIA GPUs. They're probably going to build that out a little bit further. Look at this site. It's beautiful. Anyways, that's all I want to say about them right now. That's it. Yeah, that's all. Let's see, got something else going on. Nope, that's it. Okay, let's go take a look at Riot real quick. So in Riot, for Riot, so a little bit interesting here. So they produced 322 Bitcoin in August, which is a decrease of 13% from July, which was 370 Bitcoin that they produced, and they're producing 3% less than before the halving. Okay, so 3% less than in August, meaning they have not doubled their exahash in order to meet their. Oh, maybe they doubled it. I don't know, because there was an increase in difficulty. So let's not act like I'm not going to be too mean to them. But they clearly haven't, because they're deployed. Does it even show their operational? What was their operational? Their average operational was 4. Okay, it was 4. They had 10 deployed. That's normal for Riot. So anyways, their deployed exahash for the total deployed exahash for last month was 23.5. So they increased by 0.3 exahash from July, but they produced less Bitcoin, probably getting those energy credits from Texas. Anyways, their actual operational hash rate was 14.5, which was a decrease of 7% from July, and the increase in Bitcoin difficulty for the month saw them see a 13% decrease in their production of Bitcoin. Okay, right. Their power credits though were 6.4 million compared to 3.4 million the month before, so they made up on that. But compared to August of last year, they made 28 million. So they're actually doing a 78% decrease in their year-over-year energy credits here. So that's interesting. Let's see. Okay, all-in power cost is 2.6 cents per kilowatt hour, which is reduced from 3.2 cents kilowatt hours last month. And was it? That's a 15.8 cents per kilowatt hour in August of last year. That's insane. This is actually really good. They have a really good energy cost. The thing that bothers me that I don't like is the fact that their operating exahash is 14.5 compared to 23 deployed, and their energy credits are significantly decreased from the year before. I don't like that because so let's take a look. They're producing 3% less Bitcoin, right? They're getting significant 78% less in energy credits, meaning they're making a lot less money this month. So that's one of the reasons Riot is really not doing super duper well right now. Let's take a look here. What's going on? Okay, they want to have the end of the third quarter. They want to have 28 exahash deployed. Okay, they could do that, but what are they going to be mining with? That's my question always with Riot. How much are you actually mining with? Half of that? Because half of that's not very impressive. By the end of the year, they want to have 36. So they want to outdo IREN there by the end of the year. Power strategy, infrastructure update, estimated hash rate growth. Yeah, okay, we know, but what are you actually operating with? Like, I don't really care about your big numbers because they don't mean anything if you're not using it. I mean, similar with Mara. I have the same critique for Mara. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go look at some charts. Look at some charts. So how's Bit Digital doing today? Let me turn off the VWAP. That's for day trading. VWAP, where are you? There we go. Turn you off. All right. So Bit Digital is hanging out near the bottom of the ATR bands here on the daily. We are up 4.45%. We are printing a bear signal on the MACD thing here. I don't even know what to call this. My easy entry exit is showing. It's basically just a fancy MACD. It's showing a bearish divergence there right now. We are oversold on the RSI. We have a higher price and a lower RSI though, so we have RSI divergence. See that right here on the chart. I'll try to draw that. Right there. See how that's getting lower and price is going a bit higher. Yeah, that's RSI divergence. That's pretty nice. And with an oversold condition, RSI divergence is a little nicer than when it's not oversold. So that's pretty cool. The volume is coming in a little bit green. Now, volume has been relatively flat for a couple of weeks now. A couple of weeks has been relatively flat as price has been coming down. That's actually a good thing in terms of showing that like the pressure down has been consistent, but once it lets up, it's probably going to let up pretty hard. Honestly, once we get out of this channel here, once we get out of this channel here on Bit Digital, I'm expecting some explosive moves once we get out of this thing to the upside. I think we're going to very, very quickly hit the 200-day moving average, which is basically the future line, and then we're going to see a little bit of resistance above that between that and 309 and 324, and then we're going to blast off from there. That's what I am expecting on Bit Digital as we go further into the month. Let's take a look at IREN. I'm not going to do all of them right now because I've already been talking for a while, so I'm just going to do the 3 that I covered right now. Everything's kind of up today, so keep that in mind. They're all up today. Things are good. Let's see here. My RSI looks all stupid. Okay, there we go. Let me fix that. All right. So again, this MACD indicator here is showing that we are in a bearish scenario here on that. RSI is not quite oversold. We are. Let me zoom in on this. We're not doing too bad. No RSI divergence. We got a higher price, higher RSI. That all looks good. IREN's looking like it's possibly set up to come down a little bit lower, towards maybe 6 or so. It's really kind of stuck in this little flag right here. It's got to get outside of this flag right there. So it's got to get above 7 and stay. So it's got to get above 7 and not go below 629. So above $7, not below 629. Once it gets above $7, then we have room up to 8. Once we get to 8, we're going to struggle all the way probably up to about 875. Once we get above 875, then honestly, we're pretty much clear of a lot of this nasty business below here. And there's a few areas of resistance we might hit, but they're fairly weak resistance, and we could probably blast through them with the appropriate amount of momentum. Right now, momentum is not on our side. RSI is in bearish territory. The MACD indicator that I have down here is also in bearish territory. It is a MACD. It looks weird, but it is a MACD. MACD based. It's based off MACD and Bollinger Band. So yeah, just don't think about it too much. We're in bearish territory on that indicator. Let's see here. We do need to get above the mid ATR band. The mid ATR band is at 812. Once we get there, we've got the 200-day moving average in front of us, as well as some resistance here just above where we got this nice long wick right there from August 29th. That wick goes all the way up to 919. But honestly, a lot of the pressure is up to 875. Once we get above that, we're really kind of in the clear for larger moves to the upside. Until then, we're going to be fighting our way up there. Again, I am accumulating in this zone. I am accumulating in this zone on IREN. I haven't been accumulating on Bit Digital. I have a pretty good position on Bit Digital. I may accumulate more as we go forward. The next one I don't have any position on anymore. This is RIOT. Let's see what's going on with RIOT. RIOT doesn't look very good right now, but okay, so there is some hope here. So this here is a bull flag right here. That's a bull flag. I like that. That's a bit of a bull flag. Now, not really a flag because it's on the way down, but it's the descending channel at the bottom of the range. Okay, descending channel at the bottom of the range tells me that this wants to go up as soon as it's done with this particular channel. Also the fact that we're hanging out the very bottom of the ATR band, and if I zoom back here, we are just in the center of this bit of support here. So RIOT is in an area where I would be looking for a reversal. I do want to see RIOT get above $7. Just like with IREN, RIOT needs to get above $7, and then it has room all the way up to almost $8. Same as on IREN, right? On the downside, I really don't want to see it go any lower than 635. Oh, it was almost close, almost the same ranges here. We are bearish on my MACD indicator here, my fancy MACD. We are oversold though. So we're in oversold territory on the RSI. Let's zoom in here a little bit, see what's going on. So we got a lower about the same RSI on a lower price. So there's almost divergence there. And finally, let's take a look at the bonds real quick. Bonds are above that trend line. I wanted to see them get above. There was a bit of a blow off top here, so I do want to see it come back to the mid ATR band and then start moving up. But we have a timer here. It is going to run out of time for that down move by next week, because on Wednesday they cut the rates. They cut the rates. Things gonna fly. So that is all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.